dear friends and colleagues. Today we are in Springfield, Illinois, in front of the old state capitol building. It's not in use anymore. We have two capitol buildings in the state, both here in Springfield. This is the old one, and then we have the new one, which is the one that is used now. But this one is very special because it's the one that we were using before and during the Civil War, and it has all those stories about Abraham Lincoln. So let's go inside and see what's going on. Well, we are finally here at the old state capitol in Springfield. This was the original capitol building of the state, and it became very famous because it was right here at these steps that President Lincoln, the first time that he ran for the United States Senate against Senator Douglas, held almost those world-famous Lincoln-Douglas debates. It all happened right here. This building also was the one that housed the state legislature, and it also housed, among other very important things, the governors and the Supreme Court. Now let's go inside. This is the inside of the building, of course, and now we have electricity, but this was all candlelight at the time. People could come in here. This was the office of the Secretary of State, where people could come and do their own proceedings and file their complaints and all that during the 19th century. So now it's open to the public for tourists. These were the quarters of the Supreme Court. So this is the actual Supreme Court room where the Supreme Court of the state of Illinois used to have their hearings. You can see as you come in here right away that big stove, because it gets very cold in the state of Illinois, for those of you that don't know it, during the winter. So in those days, this is the heating system that they had, and you will see how there were stoves everywhere. Up there is where the justices would preside. You can see to the right side the eagle of the state of Illinois. These are recreations. You can see some jacket there from the time. Here you can see the ink wells for the justices. It was a very pretty and, I guess at the time, imposing place where people could come and litigate their cases before the Supreme Court of the state. These are some of the documents the people of the state of Illinois from those days, name list too, some books. There is a grandfather clock that they had here in the room too. And this is the view from the judge. Now this is the office of the state of Illinois Secretary of State. People would come here and file their petitions during the 19th century. So this is in the same building in those days. All the state government agencies were under the same roof, in this case the old state capitol. Look at this map of the United States. West of the Mississippi, nothing but territories, no states yet. This is the law library. We have another stove here for the winter. An old map of the state of Illinois. No running water in those days. Now this is the United States flag at the time of the Civil War. Now, this is a dome like almost all state capitals in the United States. The state of Illinois' old capital had a dome, just like the new capital has one too. Now, this is the state of Illinois, State House of Representatives, one of the two chambers of the state legislature in those days. Just think about the fact that in these halls, the representatives were discussing matters such as slavery and emancipation, secession, and here we had the very first members of the Republican Party, which was founded here in Illinois by President Lincoln to fight against slavery. Now, across the hallway from the house, we had the state of Illinois Senate, the second of the two chambers of the state legislature. This is where the state senators would session and debate the same issues so important in those days, pre-Civil War, at the same time that their counterparty in the House of Representatives were doing it across the hall. Just think of what debates they had here. Think of the times that President Lincoln's name was mentioned here during the days, even during the Civil War. Now, these seats were for the ladies. This is where women could come and sit down to observe the debates in the Senate. In those days, women could not hold political office, and in fact, they couldn't even vote. Oh, how times have changed since those days. This was the office of the state of Illinois governor. In those days, in the Capitol building, you housed the legislature and the governor on the second floor and the Supreme Court on the first floor. So this is where the governor would take care of the state businesses, and then next door, the governor's secretaries would control the agenda and decide who could come and talk to the governor, and in the meantime stay here in this waiting room. Strikes me how easy and accessible it was to get to the governor in those days. But I guess it was the same thing at the White House, where people would just walk in and walk straight to President Lincoln. This is it, the old Capitol building in Springfield, where Lincoln pronounced the House Divided speech.